Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hi, my name is Alyssa, and for today's video, we are going to be doing yet another foundation wear test. But today, I am more excited than I have ever been because I am finally going to be testing out the highly coveted Huda Beauty Faux Filter Foundation. As you guys know, this thing is always sold out on Sephora.com, and for me, I have a Sephora inside of JCPenney's where I live, so we don't even carry the product, and so it has literally taken me months to get my hands on it. So to say I'm excited is an understatement. I have like a full day's worth of stuff that I have got to get done today, including a concert this evening, so I thought, what better time to test out this foundation than right now? So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. To save time, I have already primed my face, and as always, I use my Too Faced Primed and Poreless Primer. I use this in every wear test just because I know how the primer performs, so that way I know whether or not it's the foundation working for me, and I don't have to worry about mixing a new primer. I've also already color corrected under my eyes, so we're just going to kind of go ahead and jump right into this. I have pulled the product up on Sephora.com because, of course, that's where I bought it. If I'm not mistaken, this product is only sold at Sephora. That sounds pretty right to me. It is $40 a bottle, and you get 1.18 fluid ounces or 35 milliliters per container. I don't know what you want to call it. Bottle. It comes in a ton of shades, which is absolutely fantastic. It is supposed to be full coverage, good for all skin types. It is to have a natural finish, and yeah, it's just supposed to smooth and even skin texture, diminish the appearance of blemishes, scars, hyperpigmentation, and redness to create a flawless airbrush finish. It has argan oil and some word I'm not going to say, but I'll put it on the screen. And both of those are apparently known for their hydrating properties. It's a fade-proof formula that blends seamlessly with skin, leaving it matte with a hint of sheen for a luminous appearance. That sounds like the most perfect finish for a foundation for me. You can use it with her primer, but I had no time for that. It does not have parabens or sulfates, which is awesome. For suggested uses, it has two. For full coverage, they want you to use it with her primer, and using a dime size amount or less, use her synthetic brush and apply it to the skin using circular and dabbing motions. And for medium coverage, of course, with her primer and the brush or a damp beauty sponge, blend in for a smooth, dewy finish. I don't know how that's different, but either way, I do not have her synthetic brush either. I don't have time to buy every brush that comes out. I will be using both a beauty blender and a brush today, one for one half, one for the other, as always, to see which does better, if it actually gives you medium or full coverage. You guys know the drill. But yeah, that is pretty much what it looks like. I bought 3 shades because, like I said, it's always sold out on the website and I can't get it in stores, so I can't be properly color matched for this. So I did buy 3 shades because I was not missing out on finding my shade, whether or not it's one of these or a mixture. I ended up getting 240N Toasted Coconut, 250G Cheesecake, and 300N Latte. Okay, so I know you've probably seen this, but this is the packaging. It's not glass, it is a plastic. It has her name written on there with a nice fade from the foundation to black. The cap is also plastic. It does have a pump, which you guys know is always amazing when it comes to foundations for me. If it has a pump, I already like it. I'm kind of bummed it's not glass. I mean, it's good for travel, but for $40, I would appreciate it if it felt a little more, I don't know, a little more expensive, I guess. But I'm not mad at it. I don't hate it, and I do think the packaging is quite nice aside from that. Okay, first things first, we're gonna color match. I may talk you through this, I may speed it up, heaven only knows, but I'm gonna start off with Toasted Coconut. It does have like a perfumey smell to it. Right now it doesn't bother me. As I continue to mess with it, I'll let you know. It's not exceptionally runny. It's actually quite nice. So I'm going to take a little bit of this on my finger. Ooh, it's kind of thick feeling. And just kind of dab it on my chest. This is how I'm going to decide what shade I should probably mess with before putting it on my face. I do not think the Cheesecake, the one I put on my shoulder, is my best match. It's not bad. It's just a little bit lighter than I would prefer. So I think honestly between, what are they? Jesus. Toasted Coconut and Latte, which is the one in this region. This is Toasted Coconut. And the one over here is Latte, are going to be my best bet. I don't know if it's supposed to do this, but the longer it kind of sits on my body, the more they all kind of, I don't know, look close to my skin, if that makes sense. I don't know what word I'm looking for, but they all look like it could be okay. It just looks like my one shoulder is a little bit lighter than I would appreciate. Okay, so what I'm going to do is start off with Toasted Coconut and try and work with that, and then if I need to deepen it up, I will take Latte to do so. I just want to see if I can find like my perfect shade before trying to mix a whole bunch. So like I said, I'm going to be doing half my face with a beauty blender and then half my face with a brush. I'll be using the Morphe Y6 to do so. So we're going to go ahead and start. I'm going to literally take 1 pump of Toasted Coconut and I'm going to dab it on the side of my face. I'm going to do the beauty blender on this side and we're going to start with that one. We're going to start with that. I want to try and see if this 1 pump will work for the entire face. Maybe just a little bit more would qualify as that dime-sized amount, but we'll see. So I'm going to leave it like that for just a minute and go ahead and start working on the other side with the brush. I just want to get a good first layer and then kind of compare the two and then decide from there if I would like to add more or not. That was all of that 1 pump. I do not know that I believe that that little bit amount is what works best for me, but I just want to bring you guys in so you can kind of see what my skin is looking like so far. On the Beauty Blender side, you can still see a lot of my discoloration from where I had bumps and scarring, and around my nose is kind of red and a little patchy, oddly enough, like right here. Ooh. On the brush side, it looks a lot better, a lot more full coverage. It's not kind of sitting funny around my nose, and the redness is a lot better. It covered up this little boy I had here a lot better than it did on this side. I think it covered quite nicely, but I do think I am more than just that tiny pump kind of girl, and so far, because you guys know I like it full coverage, I prefer the brush. However, I am still going to stick with the Beauty Blender on the one side. I think I'm going to go in with a little bit of the Toasted Coconut to kind of even this up, but I think I'm also going to pump in a little bit of Latte. I feel this, when I stepped outside, was looking a little bit pink, and I just want to make sure that it looks decent the whole evening because I do have things to do. And so I'm just going to do the tiniest bit of both of those and see if that makes any difference, and I'm going to try and build this up with the sponge on this side and then the brush again on the other side. Okay, so here we are with like 2-ish layers. To remind you, I use pretty much like 2 pumps of toasted coconut and like 1 pump of latte. Right now I think the color is quite nice. I'll be interested to see if it really oxidizes or does anything like that. I'm going to go ahead and put on like my concealer and everything and see how it pairs with other stuff. I'm going to speed through this, but I'll leave you guys with me. I am going to just be using my Tarte Shape Tape in Light Medium Honey to do so. Can say from the initial application that it does work well with this concealer. Of course, I cannot speak for any other ones, but I noticed that while applying it, it didn't disturb any of the foundation. It looked like it blended together really, really nicely. And oddly enough, as you saw at the very end, I really worked up in here into my forehead wrinkle, and you can barely see her right now, which is good. I mean, I know before I said it, if I keep moving my eyebrows, I may sing a different story, but for right now, I think it looks really nice. It feels just a tad bit tacky on the skin, nothing too bad, but I always set my foundation with powder, so I'll take care of that in just a moment. It does have a very strong odor. It kind of smells like very mature women's perfume, not like super old lady perfume, not like what your grandmother wears, but close to it. It doesn't really bother me, but if smells bother you, it just might. I do think right now that the finish is really nice and my skin looks quite good. I will say that. With the brush, I will say that it is definitely full coverage, which I really appreciate. By now, you can no longer see the bump that I had here or any of like my discoloration that would have been on my skin. You can see it just a tad over here, but not much, but I did use the Beauty Blender, so I can see where it gives it like more of a medium coverage, but you can build it up quite nicely. I did dab over them just a bit with the brush, only because I do have somewhere I have to be later. But other than that, I don't know, I think it looks really, really good off my initial first impression. I don't think the color match is bad, and I definitely think it'll look a lot better once I add, you know, my bronzer and everything. But I am going to go ahead and go off camera and do the rest of my makeup, and then I'll come back and give you kind of like my partial final thoughts. Alright, you guys, I am back. I have had the foundation on probably for about an hour or so now, and I have to say, I'm quite impressed by it, you guys. I didn't think that I wouldn't be, but I just, you know, I didn't want to get my hopes up too high. I think that my pores look pretty dang good. All of my other makeup products laid really, really nicely over top of this foundation. Like, I didn't have trouble with like my bronzer or anything kind of slipping, not slipping, but skipping, like, and leaving any sort of rough patches. My forehead wrinkle is kind of taken over, but not as bad as I anticipated, and I really try and be gentle with that because my forehead wrinkle has a mind of her own, so there is just no holding her in, keeping her at bay. She just doesn't appreciate that. She likes to be center of attention, so we don't even bother. But so far, so good. I still think as of right now, I appreciate the side with the brush more than the side with the Beauty Blender, but that's because I am a full coverage hoe. So, I mean, what can I say? But so far so good. It does feel absolutely weightless on the skin. I'm trying to like be kind to the color. In person it doesn't look that bad. On camera my face looks a little bit lighter than my body, which it better not try and play me. It doesn't look bad by any means, and so far nothing has like oxidized or done anything weird like that. So far, so good. I'm gonna wear this throughout the day, like I said, to the concert tonight, really put it to the test. And I will be back with you guys at some point in this evening to give you my full and final thoughts. So yeah, you guys, see you then. Okay, you guys, I am back hours later. I'm talking, it is 1:25 in the morning, and I don't know if I showed you the time when I clocked out last time, but it was like 1 o'clock, maybe 2, something like that. I can't even remember, you guys. It has been a very, very long night. Either way, this foundation has been on for 11 or 12 hours. Easy. I really, really like it. It is not looking its best right now because I don't think it's meant to be worn for 12 hours, but it is really and truly not looking bad. I didn't blot at all this evening, and I don't look shiny anywhere where I normally get shiny. It is looking a tad bit cakey, but like I said, I don't think it's meant for 12 hours. But other than that, oh, sorry, I almost dropped you guys. Other than that, I really, really like it. I think it's really, really good. It still feels like my skin in a way, I guess, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I think my pores still look really, really good. And I don't know, I really, really like it. I'm pretty sure, if I'm correct and I remember from earlier, that I'm stayed using like 2 pumps of Toasted Coconut and 1 pump of the shade Latte. Nothing oxidized or acted funky on me, which thank God. But yeah, you guys, I'm gonna have to give this foundation a thumbs up. I'm still gonna test it out with a couple other primers, and I will of course leave all my thoughts and comments down in the description below as they come about, so you can always check there. Yeah, that is pretty much it for this video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And hopefully I will see you in my next one. Bye!